Yo!
Hello.
Dude, good to finally talk.
How you doing?
How you doing?
Always good. I'm glad that y'all are here. Oh, y'all have your cameras on too. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, man.
Were we not supposed to?
No, this works out great. Would you prefer me
You
call
got
you
us
by
now.
your real names or by your character names?
Hey,
I'm easy. That's what
Call
they say.
me-
Whatever's easier
I mean-
for you.
call me by my name.
Okay, I will try. This will be
Call
very
us, by,
difficult.
call us by each other's character names. That would be great.
Yeah.
Oh, I shotgun scar. Shotgun
Damn it.
scar.
Shotgun scar. Damn
Well,
it.
I don't. I wanna be called Tecto.
Okay, I will call you
That's
Tectone 100%.
There you go.
Let me get my
gosh.
chat off my screen. I know you guys are really strapped for time. So how about we just get into this? Are you guys good to go?
I'm
good to me.
good to go.
Oh, dude, I'm so excited. This is so awesome. I've been wanting to do one of these for
This is
so
great.
long. This makes me so happy. All right, cool. Boys, welcome to the voice actor edition of Gacha Cast. I believe this should be episode 12. Today we have the voice of Gian, Scar, and Alto here today from Wuthering Waves. Very excited. Would you guys be okay with introducing yourself and what you do and how you got into voice acting? One at a time, starting with the voice of Gian.
Yeah, hello, how you doing? My name is Alex Jordan. I played Gian in Wuthering Waves. I got into voice acting back in, I think 2014 was my first video game job. But I mean, I basically started by uploading impressions to YouTube in the very early days of YouTube in
That's awesome.
2006. A voice agent found me on there in 2008 and signed me when I was 18, and that was my way into it. So
Wait,
yeah.
so you're 28 then?
Not now.
Wait.
No, yes.
Wait, my
yes.
math must be wrong. Wait, how old are you, if I can ask?
No, yeah.
Yes.
So I am 34 this year.
Okay, because when I heard that my math was wrong. When I was like, "You're 28? What the fuck? There's no way."
So 2006, when I was 16, I started uploading these videos to YouTube. So yeah, that was my
So
way.
sick.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Next we have the voice of Scar.
Yo, hi, my name's Shai Madison. I got into voiceover because I admire Alex Jordan, and I just wanted to do everything that he does.
Wait, really?
And so, yeah, slowly take over his life and his career. I got into, when you're an actor, you sort of do a lot of things on the side, and then one of those things starts. Like in my case, it was like, oh, voiceovers. You sign with a voiceover agent, then apparently there were voices in games to do, and so you go for auditions. Like, it was never anything that was planned. It was sort of an accidental huge fortune. So I sort of started auditioning for games, did a few sort of NPCs and like small well, actually my biggest my first job was my potentially biggest job that ended up being additional voices after I auditioned to be the lead. But that's a story for another time. I think you know that story, Alex.
If you have time, I would
but-
love to hear it. If we have time,
but
I would
then-
love to hear it.
Yeah. Another time.
Yeah.
I think I have to ask permission for
Of
someone
course,
to tell that
absolutely.
story. But anyway,
Totally
I will.
respectable.
Yeah. But it's a great story for a future podcast. And then I started doing a lot of smaller characters, and NPCs and things. And then my big break, I think, was Dragon Quest, which was around Dragon Quest 11, which was around 2016, released 2017. It was my first big character, and probably my favorite one to date.
Which one?
Sylvando. This guy, can you see it?
Oh, that's awesome. I had no idea. That's so cool. I know two of y'all voice act in Arknights, I believe.
Yeah.
Those two.
Do you voice act it like Arknights? Arknights. I play Midnight.
You do Midnight, yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
I do Midnight in Arknights. Yeah. So
That's crazy.
I think one of
Yeah,
y'all
I'm
does.
the voice of Silver Ash.
That's insane.
Yeah, that's a different voice to Alto.
Dude,
Silver Ash. He's really like low in my register as well.
Dude, Silver Ash was my favorite character in Arknights. I had no
Yes.
idea. Dude, he was so broken. He was so good. He looked so sick. I used to call him Silver Daddy.
He's
Bro,
sick.
the man. Okay, then let me do the introduction. We also have, finally, the voice of Alto.
Hello. Yeah, my name is James Day. I've always, been into acting. I was a really stubborn kid, and I dreamt of being an actor since I was younger. And I'm also a huge gamer as well. So like, it kind of made sense to try my hardest to get into the industry. And it took ages. I was like batting on that door, like trying to get a voice job and stuff. And it wasn't until I think 2017 that I landed a voice in the Division 2, Tom Clancy's The
Oh,
Division
that's
2.
sick.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, one reason why I ended up getting cast as Silver Ash is because originally all my voices were for characters who are ages like 40, 50 plus, surprisingly.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
because
wild.
I do loads of like military grunts and like shouts and screams. So like I'd be on board to do like so many onos and just death noises, and ended up voicing like a lot of like the True Sons in the Division.
Wait, can we hear one of
Especially-
those, or is that weird?
Oh, I gotta warm up for it. But it's down here. He sounds like that. And like, that was all of it.
That's so
And, like,
cool.
The funny thing is, like,
Yeah.
I would do those voices for my audition, and then I'd come in and just be like, "Hi guys, it's me," and they just have to have a double take. So, yeah, so I sort of got known for doing those like low voices, and it wasn't until I landed a job at Side in Sifu, and I played a bodyguard, like a really like gruff bodyguard, and then after that, got initiated into the Arc Knight realm as Silver Ash. And he's today one of my favorite characters ever. I love him.
He's so
And I ended
cool.
up actually playing Arc Knights, and I spent ages re-rolling for him. My God, he's so sick.
Yeah, he was my first ever 5-star or 6-star in that game, and yeah, just so good.
Yeah.
Okay, one of
That's
the
first time
introductions.
I ever got called a daddy. Milestone.
Yeah, so now that we
Welcome
got
to the
introduction
club.
out of the way, I'm curious to go one by one. Whoever wants to start, you're more than welcome to. How do you feel about your own character in the game? Have you played the game, and how do you feel about your character so far? I'd love to start with Gian, if that's cool.
Yeah. So it's a super interesting one. I haven't yet. I jumped in last night at the beginning of the game. It's a really interesting one. So I jumped in because I was thinking I kind of want to get ahead of, because I've been streaming for over 3 years now, and I was like, I want to get to the point of when I can start to pull characters. I can, because I was like, it would be kind of fun to just jump straight in and be like, right, I'm pulling and let's see what I get. So I started to play last night. The game itself, really loved the combat. Like I was hooked on the combat, man. Do you know what I mean?
It's so fun. It's so good.
addictive
It's the
as
best
hell. I love
combat
it.
in any Gacha game ever made. 100%.
It's so good.
Truly.
As for Gian, obviously haven't got far enough for that point, but I have been really enjoying dipping in and out of streams, and seeing people with Gian and playing with Gian. I love Gian, man. He's a really cool character. He's stoic. He's resolute, but also he's sensitive. He's a sensitive boy. He's got a really lovely little core behind this hard general sort of facade. So yeah, I really like the character.
Yeah, I love going from Act 6 and seeing the finale, which I believe all of y'all, except for obviously Scar's not there in Act 6, unfortunately. But everybody else is there, and like there's this massive finale, and then after you beat it, then you get to see his tender side in the village story, and it's just such
He's
a
a
nice
tender
turn of the
man.
character. I really want to pull for Gian, but I'm worried he might make the game too easy, so I'm afraid of pulling for him. Because he's
Listen,
so
it's-
overpowered.
Listen, mate, it's absolutely fine to be scared of such power. If you don't think you're able to handle it,
Intimidating.
it's
Yeah.
understandable, man. It's
Yeah.
understandable.
Yeah.
I get you, Tectone. I get you.
I mean, he's just so busted. It's insane. Like, I'm using a called Charo, who is just, oh my god, he's so cool.
His design is like so good,
It's
so good, and his
amazing,
voice as well. Like,
insane.
he's got such a cool.
Ben
yeah.
Cura, right, is his VA. So God, so beautiful. Such
Yeah.
a beautiful voice.
So next, for Scar, fun fact, you are my favorite character in the game. Amazing, dude. Your evil laugh as Scar was such, because like the story was very much this way, and then the moment Scar is introduced, it takes a huge turn
Yeah.
and becomes even
Hey, that's
more
the
than
story,
I even
though.
thought.
That's not me.
Oh,
Can I
yeah, but
also-
but the way that you bring the character to life with your voice it's insane.
Super quick.
Yeah.
Super quick. I just want to say,
Yeah.
Shy, the day before it came out. So Shy and I have actually known each other for about 10 years because we once upon a time we had the same voice agent and we met like that way. We've known each other for a long time. And Shy was texting me like the day before, being like, "Oh, I'm nervous. I mean, I don't know, what are people gonna think?" And the next day, I was like sending him screenshots, being like, "Dude, you fucking killed it, man.
Absolutely.
You nailed it." So Shy, sorry, take the floor. I just wanted to say,
No, thank you. Thanks
you
for saying
have
that. It's
smashed
'cause-
it, man. You smashed
You really have, Shy.
Thanks very much.
It's
It all sounds like
awe-inspiring.
false modesty. It all sounds like false modesty, but like I genuinely didn't know because it is out there and it's so sort of it's big, I guess.
Yeah.
I love doing that, but then you go, oh, if I made a real big mistake by choosing this, and sort of, I guess the team accepted and encouraged it, but I was like, whoa, are we allowed to curse on this? We can.
You can say whatever you want.
Yeah. So I was like, fuck, this is gonna destroy my career, but it didn't. It was good.
Yeah. It was just
But I genuinely was so surprised, and like the response in the last 48 hours, I think, since I said it was me, was unbelievable. So, was there
your
a
tweet
question,
is blown
or
up.
are we just
yeah,
complimenting me?
we'll get there, but it's just like the story was so calm, and then
Thank
you
you very
come in
much.
and like you just sound insane, and then I think the thing that really bummed me out, and I'm wondering if you know this, you probably do. Do you know that players can skip 80% of your dialogue in game?
Oh yeah, I've just heard this. I didn't know that, but listen, if they want to skip, they can skip. They're missing out on a good thing.
Yeah, because I skipped it at first.
Why would you?
I skipped it accidentally because I didn't know. Because I played in both closed beta tests, and there's an option where you can just say, Scar, I just want to fight now. And if you fight now, then
Okay.
you miss out on the
Oh,
whole
I
story of the
see.
black sheep. Yeah, no, even without the skip button. And like, that to me was my favorite dialogue in the game. I love the story of the
thank
black sheep. Are you the black sheep? Are you the shepherd? And are you hoping to become a playable character?
Listen, I'm hoping. I don't know
You better.
what other people
You
are
better
hoping.
become
Yeah.
a playable character.
Better. Yeah.
And then people can't skip me. That's all I want. I want people not to be able to skip me. And I think
Absolutely. Don't
anyone
skip
listening
Scar.
or looking at this, don't skip Scar. Don't
Yeah.
skip,
skip Scar.
I mean, come on. Also, if we can have a little petition going to the guys at Koro that they should have an announcement, don't skip Scar.
I agree.
Yeah,
I think we're
don't
supposed to
skip Scar.
Don't
I
skip
1,000,000%
Scar.
agree.
He's been through enough, goddammit.
All right,
Yeah,
so
I mean, he's been through he's had his interesting his outfit, costume, the sort of
Alter.
little bit.
Landing
He's been through enough already. He's already had
Yeah.
it taken away from him, man. In the update.
Alex just showed me that. He used to
Taking
have
you
a
away from
little
him.
cam toe happening going
yeah, he
on
used to
there.
have a dick zipper. Took it away, man. Unfortunate, man. Very
What's he gonna
unfortunate.
do now? What's he gonna do
How's he
now?
gonna pee?
How's he gonna piss?
If he needs the
Exactly.
bathroom really, really desperately, like just
Immersion
before a
ruined.
fight, what's he gonna
Jeez.
do now?
That's
God.
why he's so full of angst, because he is dying for a piss.
There you go.
Yeah. Just
That's,
doesn't want to piss
that's the
himself.
energy Shy brings to the booth every time.
That's right.
I
Yeah.
do too, honestly.
And I went full method in the booth. I wasn't allowed to pee
Yeah.
for the whole recording.
All right, for Alto, how do you feel about your character, Alto? Have you enjoyed Wuthering Waves?
Yeah, I love Alto with my whole heart. He is just like the goofiest, silliest guy ever. Like, and at the same time, there's a lot more to him than people assume, you know? Like, he's a lot more than face value.
Yeah.
And he was like one of the funnest characters I've ever voiced in a booth. Just because, like, especially for all his, like, battle moves and stuff, like, they give me completely free reign to do whatever the fuck I wanted.
Really?
And- yeah.
Oh, okay.
kind of.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so like just because I think they weren't expecting me to approach him so goofily, you
Yeah.
know? But have you seen his battle animations? It's crazy.
Yeah, they
Yeah, put
changed
some
it a little bit.
sunglasses.
They changed it from
Oh,
closed
yeah.
beta because he used to shoot his ultimate from his finger, and then now I
Yeah.
believe he slaps on his sunglasses and shoots from his gun. I believe.
That's true.
I don't have him yet, which makes me really upset because I'm playing.
But you know what?
I want
I
him. I'm
bestow
playing
you
completely
all
free
the
to play. I
luck.
just got unlucky.
Oh, it's sick. I didn't know you're playing free to play. That's awesome. I really hope you get him because he's so much fun to play with. Because I started streaming. I started my streaming adventure last night,
Awesome.
which was really fun. Yeah, and I played through the game for the first time, and I managed to pull Alto right before I signed off.
I saw your reaction.
And-
Your clip
Oh, you
is
did?
great, man.
Yeah, I
Your
saw
clip is
you were
great.
losing it, man.
Also,
You were losing
also,
it.
I was lurking in your stream the whole time.
you were?
Again, like
Lurk.
as someone who's done it now for many years, I was like, dude, yeah, this is gonna be sick. I wasn't able to chat. I was lurking. You took to it like that, man. You took to it like that. You were
Thank
natural with
you.
it, dude. You were natural
Thank
with
you.
it.
It was
Fair
so
play. Well
much
done.
fun.
Well
And
done.
like, yeah, and I had a little play with Alto, as many people wish they could, outside of
Hey.
stream, and he's so much fun. He's like a trickster. He dashes, he dodges, he turns into mist. He creates a bunch of clones just to troll people. I think he's just sick. I love
Yeah.
him.
I
And his
love him.
dynamic with
Zipper.
Encore is just amazing.
Yeah, he was my number one most wanted character pre-launch of the game, so I'm still kind of
yeah?
pissed that I haven't got him yet. But I'm happy
About
with
time, man.
Havoc
I saw-
Rover has been a treat.
I saw
to
one
use.
streamer who was saying how I love him and I hate him in a beautiful way, and that like they were like, he's such a like, oh, the glass, like the arrogance of the glasses and stuff.
Yup.
They were like, I hate it, but I love it.
Yeah. Someone came in my stream and said he has the most like punchable attitude ever in the best way possible. And you know what?
Yeah.
I agree. I'd punch him if I could. So like
we talking
Yeah.
about Alex or about Alto?
both actually.
Both.
Yeah.
Fair.
I love that. So I did want to follow through on that. For you said you all are starting streaming so far.
Yeah.
How is it handling a community for y'all who have streamed, where the people, because there's a lot of I deal with this all the time. There's a lot of very parasocial people. Is it weird when people think that you actually are the character in real life and don't understand that you're the voice? Or how has the community been treating you so far? Has it been nice? Do you think they see you, or like, how does it feel as a voice actor who voices with the game while streams?
I mean, it's as I say, I started in January of 2021. So I've been doing it for a little while now. It's interesting. It's a fine line. It's a very, very fine line, because you really I love the thing that I love about it. The reason why I started streaming was I really love getting to engage and interact with the community, right? Because video games are the most interactive form of media that there is. So why not take that to another level and have people interact with the game in an extra way, right?
Yeah.
Like, for example, there's like, I don't know if you can see back here. So this is my Mr. Hands.
From Cyberpunk.
So I played Mr. Hands in Cyberpunk.
Awesome.
So I voice acted him, and I'd play the game and I would like do like fake quests from Mr. Hands as I was playing, stuff like that. It's interesting, right? Because you get that blurred lines, where you're kind of taking on elements of the character and stuff. It's interesting, like when you variety stream and you play different games that you're in, it kind of helps to break that up, because you're changing all the time. You're like, okay, so I'm playing Dark Tide, which is the game I voiced that. I'm playing Cyberpunk, and now I'm
Wait,
playing.
you voiced
Call
in
of
Dark
Duty.
Tide?
Yeah, so I play a guy called he's the professional. So he's like, go charts like this. He's like, no.
Oh, that's so sick.
Fucking low. Yeah. So
Yeah.
guy like that.
So
Yeah.
versatile, my God.
So when you change up, it helps your audience kind of separate. Because you know what I mean? Because it's like, if you're just solely streaming one game as one character, in the audience's mind, you kind of become that character, and it's hard to separate it. If you're
Absolutely.
constantly changing between games, it really helps break it up. And you're like, look, I'm me. I'm just me, and I'm streaming, and I'm playing all these games. Yeah, it definitely helps that way. So yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
James,
Wait till they.
go on.
I was gonna say wait till they get hold of the altars, because that is.
The
Not
Altars
only
is a
you.
game in which I basically play every single character. Yeah, it's a
What?
game. I don't know if you heard of a studio called
Yeah.
11-bit. They
sounds
made
so fun.
Frostpunk and This War of Mine and games like that. And basically, they've got a game coming up called The Altars, in which you play a guy. Basically, this guy called Jan. He's trapped
Get
on
up,
an
it's
alien
cool.
planet, and in order to get off, he has to clone himself multiple times. But every single one of the clones of himself are different branching timeline versions. So they all
Yeah.
have the same. They're all the same person, but they have different lives, different voices, different experiences, and you have to interact. So I play all of them. All of them have to sound like the same person fundamentally, but different enough that it's not confusing. But also, like, they all have personalities, and So that one will take it to an even further level. Yeah.
Yeah.
That
That's
sounds
crazy.
crazy as a voice actor. It sounds so much
Yeah.
fun.
Oh, dude, it's been a treat. I was out in Poland last week for the first hands-on thing of that out in Warsaw,
Mr.
and
Hands-on.
yeah. But James, how have you found it? Your first stream, how did you find that balance?
Yeah, so I've actually really latched onto the Final Fantasy XIV community because I also voice a character in 14, and it's a
which
game that I've
character?
been playing now. Aliak. Someone made me a lovely plush of him.
Oh, that's so cute.
Isn't this so adorable?
Yeah.
Right? Oh, I love him so much. And Final Fantasy is a series that is so close to my heart, and I've actually been playing that game for 10.5 years now. And
Damn.
yeah, I joined at the start of 2.0, and being able to like voice a character in 14 has really been a huge goal of mine as a voice actor. And the moment I landed that role and it came out, I was able to like actually tell people about it, and the 14 community really embraced me. And now slowly I'm starting to get some people of the Wuthering Waves community too, who just love Alto and his relationship with Encore and stuff like that.
Yep.
And it's just so sweet. And it's like, back to like what you said about the parasocial aspect of it. I know stuff like role-playing is pretty big in the Final Fantasy community. And a lot of people have Thaliak as their patron deity, because he's a god in the game, basically. So a lot of people kind of want their blessings from him, if you know what I mean. Which is, and I'm sure there's a whole different aspect of roleplay with Alto's voice, which I'm sure is going to happen. I've gotten some interesting tweets. But yeah, it's definitely something I'm still navigating. So I'll take a lot of like pointers from you, Alex, just because not only are you awe-inspiring, but I think you just handle this whole stratosphere of like social gaming to a whole nother level, and I'll take a lot from you.
I think it's really important at the moment with the rise of AI in particular. It's really important to show
Absolutely.
devs the value that the actors themselves can bring, because AI, cool, you can cut costs, you can save money here and there, NPCs, you can save bit of money. But the one thing that AI will never be able to do is interact with the community in a meaningful way. It will never be able to genuinely have passion, interest, love for a project, character, all that stuff, and it just won't be able to do this. It just won't. So we have to get ahead of the curve, and we have to basically prove to kind of to ourselves first of all, and then to developers, that we have a worth beyond what we can just do in the booth. You know, it extends beyond that. I was with Ben Starr today, who is Clive in Final Fantasy 16, and he and I have a very similar view. You know, we talk a lot about this. We talk about like how we're just like, this is the industry now, and we need to show the industry that, you know, TV, film, theater for a long time has understood the value of its actors in drawing people towards projects. As voice actors, I feel like we're starting to reach that point. Ben has done that with Final Fantasy. The Baldur's Gate cast has done that. You know, we're starting to reach a point in which people go, there's a genuine value beyond the time spent in the booth that voice actors can bring to projects. You know, so yeah, I think stuff like streaming is really invaluable, genuinely.
Yeah, if y'all ever need help with streams, any questions whatsoever, I've been doing this shit for 5 years.
Hell yeah,
it's my favorite thing. I love it.
I mean, let's say you don't stream, Shy, but I mean, if you streamed, that would be feral. It would be the scar would be
so scared.
Feral.
No, I mean it really is so good, and like I mean, I'm not sure if you've seen other games with Gacha game voice actors, but the community bases are very supportive, and they are once again also very feral. So if you do ever stream, I mean, there's gonna be a lot of people there. And they're gonna be very excited, and I really think it is worth a shot. I love it personally. It's my
I do love.
favorite
Yeah,
thing to do.
I look at these guys. I look at guys like you as well, and I'm very jealous and very in awe, and also very scared. So I really, you know, it's one of those things. I've said it to Alex before. Like, I should do it. I should start. I should at least start aiming more, if nothing else. But I feel so overwhelmed, and also I'm in so many games that I'm like, how do I ever possibly choose? I mean, Alex is the same. but how do you choose what to play?
Great position
like,
to be
I
in.
Like certain games.
Yeah.
Sure. But like, and I'll let people down. It's all my anxieties coming to play.
I totally get that.
This is inspiring me.
Yeah, streaming is generally a blessing and a curse. The only downside for me is I generally don't give a shit. I used to care a lot, and then after about 5-6 years of this shit breaking you down, you're just like, yeah, fuck it. The people will just make shit up, believe it, and then it's like, okay, well, you got to deal with this shit for the rest of your life. It's annoying as shit. But other than that, it's a great time. I play video games for a living. It's awesome. So I am curious, do you all have any dream roles in voice acting for a character that's already out or a character you wish to voice in the future? And I'd love to start with you, Shy. Do you have any characters you wish you could voice act?
Oh wow. I don't know. No, I think no. No, I don't.
Really?
I like every part. I don't. It's because every game, like, it's probably the game that's not been invented yet or that isn't out there. Also, I don't know enough about characters out there in games. Like, I can tell you that last year, like, first game I ever played that I was really into was Prince of Persia.
Great game.
Like, yeah, sure. And the original one, you know, the strangely blonde guy running around Persia, and that was my favorite game. And then I was very lucky to last year be in the new Prince of Persia. I was like, whoa, that's so cool.
The side-scrolling one?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, my buddy Asmongold loved that game.
Yeah. It's good. It's got such good reaction, such good response. And I was like, this is such a dream to be in a game, be a character in a game that was like my first ever love of video games. So that was cool. So that means stuff to me. But like, I'm like, whatever good part people want to offer me, I'll happily do it.
Hey, hell yeah, man. Fuck it. Okay. Yeah. Nice. I have a very interesting thing to circle back to with that mindset that I want to get to another question for this. Alex, what about you? Any dream roles you have?
Yeah, 100%. So when Phantom Liberty came out and people didn't know that I was the voice of Mr. Hands, and like then it did come out that I was the voice of Mr. Hands, I had messages from Lucy James and Timur Hussein at GameSpot being like, holy crap, that was you? Like, we played the game, we played the hands-on, and we all thought, and everyone was speculating who it was, and they all thought it was David Hayter. And I was like, dude, I will take that. David Hayter, like Metal Gear Solid Snake, like I will take that for me as well. Like I have been a gamer all my life, but when my next door neighbor, who was a fully grown man, by the way, he was in his 30s at the time, like mid to late 30s. Basically, when the PS2 came out, he gave me his PS1 as a hand-me-down because I didn't have any kind of console or anything. Like we just didn't have one. He gave it to me as a hand-me-down, and I basically played all of the PS1 stuff a generation late, and that was my access into it. Metal Gear Solid, I played it so much. I loved it. And so honestly, I would say Solid Snake. Yeah. Like, and the fact that then years later, I had people in the industry being like, we thought that you were David Hayter, was like, that's the biggest compliment anyone could ever give me, given that that's how I got into gaming. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Turns out you're just a hater.
It's an incredible story.
What about you, James? Any dream roles?
Kind of similar to Alex, how it kind of stems from like a childhood game. Like Final Fantasy series in general has been a huge thing in my life. It's one of the first ever games I played. Final Fantasy 3, Final Fantasy 6. I can't remember which one actually because we played it at the same time, or I actually watched my brother play it. So I would love to voice a character if they make a new like Final Fantasy 17 or any other remakes and stuff like that. I would have loved to voice characters in the 7 remake. Are you kidding me? I would have loved to voice Zack Fair. That'd been so much fun.
Do you guys notice the similarities between Sephiroth and Kelcharo in game?
Oh
yes,
yeah, the Japanese
100%.
VA, same voice
Same
actor.
one. Insane. Like there's no way that's coincidence.
100%. I'll tell you what, actually, James, I just, as that question was being asked, you know what I think you would do really well? Spyro.
Mm-hmm. Oh, can you imagine?
Spyro?
I think
Spyro?
you could do a good Spyro, I reckon. You could do.
I'm all down.
Spyro.
Yeah.
I'd like to see your Spyro, dude. That sounds really euphemistic.
I love that. Oh, that sounds crazy, actually, when you say that
I
out
would
loud.
love to see your Spyro.
I'm down, 100%.
So another question that I was wondering, and a lot of my chat was wondering as well. So before Wuthering Waves was released, they announced that they would be reworking 80% of the story before it goes to live. How did that news hit y'all? Did you guys get any addition? Or I don't know if you guys can talk about this. Did you guys get any new things to work around? Was there any change in direction for your characters, or how was that news to you? Or were you like, oh yay, more work? Or like how did that news hit y'all?
I mean, it's an interesting
More
one for
work
us.
is always something we're happy about.
Yeah, to be fair, more
Yeah.
work is like
More
great,
hours.
cool. You know, it's
Hours.
voice actors. You're not paid a block rate. You're paid by the hour. So if they're like, by the way, we're gonna rewrite stuff. We're gonna bring you back in the booth. No voice actor is gonna go, oh.
I think the previous stuff is pretty good.
Yeah.
I
get
don't.
it.
Maybe you guys have an answer because I came into it quite late. I think they saved my stuff till it was all sort of sorted out.
Yeah, it's a weird one as well because as voice actors, you very rarely get to kind of hear what other people are doing. You kind of basically go in, you just record your stuff, and then you kind of that's it, right? So in the grand scheme of things, it's very tricky to navigate and understand where everything's slotting in. And so a lot of the time you go back and you do re-record stuff, and some of the times just talking generally on voice acting, you can find out that like you've worked for the last 2 weeks and they're like, oh yes, that's all rewrites that's replacing something, and you're like, oh okay, cool. So you know, you just never really know when you're in the booth. It's hard to really tell.
You really don't, and it's so hard to remember. Obviously, the way games are structured, as you all know, but it's so many things that repeat and sound the same, and you record options and things. So you could very well be recording something that ends up just replacing something else, but you assume it's a new thing. You know, it's so hard. I think oftentimes, unless it's done chronologically, or unless like Alex and the Alters will know the whole body of the piece, but oftentimes don't know much, and so we discover the game sort of alongside you guys. Like I think you, James, were saying it, like when you're going to stream it to discover the game, to discover what actually happens. Everything is so out of sync and so disjointed when you work on it that you just don't know. So we're kind of excited to discover these characters with the players.
Yeah, especially because everyone's like NDA'd up to their eyeballs. They can't talk about anything. So we only get like our section of the story, really. We get we get context and stuff like that, but like I'm excited to read more and watch your guys' performances and stuff like that. So it's like it's kind of fun how we are discovering the story along the way. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, there was a voice actor for another game, and her her character in game was called Firefly, and one of my buddies got her to sign a portrait of herself of the character in game, and she left me a message, and she put, "I am so sorry," and I never knew why she put that, because I was like, oh, I love this character, and then a month later she dies in game. I'm like, wow, that is the worst thing ever. So yeah,
Also, that is the most brilliant way to drop a soft spoiler. Like just to be like, just a soft spoiler that has no context, that like you're not going to understand at all, and it's almost like, don't worry, you will. You will. Don't pound the head. You will.
It was awesome. So when you guys go to channel your voices, where do y'all go? Like, what is y'all's like vocal process for getting into character? I would love to start with you, James.
Oh, with me?
Yeah.
Well, Alto is a really interesting character. But before I talk about that, I'd like to talk about like Silver Ash, because Silver Ash is a character I really had to kind of channel something, because he's quite distant for myself. And that's where a lot of because he speaks very Shakespearean, you know, and he speaks in a much lower register. So I not only have to like warm up vocally to get down there, I actually have to like brush up on my Shakespeare and iambic pentameter and like all my classical training to go alongside that. And because I was classically trained, so it really helped with that character.
Do you do things like red leather, yellow leather, rubber baby belly bunkers, or what?
In the Wuthering Waves version is retroact rain. And Trinodian retroact rain.
My God, saying that Trinodian retroact rain, like
Trinodian retroact rain. And oh God, or even an Alto line, credibility in the name. I cannot say that to save my life. And but for Alto, he's a really fascinating, multifaceted character because it's like so much that he puts on is like a front, you know, and but at the same time, he is genuinely having fun, you know, and it's like striking the balance, especially in a battle. It's like how much is he actually struggling, how much is showmanship, and how much is he like genuinely like toying with the enemy and not just like manipulating them mentally, but like just having fun. So I wouldn't say I have a particular process when it comes to tackling Alto, luckily because he's quite close to my natural vocal register. So I just gotta remember and remind myself to just take risks when it comes to recording, because often in a recording space you don't really get to have that many takes because time is money. So for Alto, I kind of told myself that I'm gonna do sort of like the out of left field thing I could, and as long as it's fun to me and it matches with the character, and see how that lands and adjust accordingly.
I love
and because that's kind of what his character is. He's sort of what you don't expect. And like before the events of his story, he was a magician. He likes sleight of hand and stuff like that, and he likes fooling around and making people smile and laugh. So what's the most unexpected ways I could do that in the booth? And I think it worked out because I love the character. I love how he presents himself in game.
Yeah, I love it. What about you, Shy? Because you seem like a pretty reserved individual. How do you go from that to being a maniac?
I don't know. It just comes out of me.
The shy man.
I am
Yes, of course.
so reserved. No, it's such a treat. Like there's a lot of similarities between the first character that I was talking about before, Sylvando, that I did, and this character, where the devs just gave me a lot of trust, and they were like, sure, yeah, do that when you suggest something crazy. I guess you reach it by like, you know, someone says something that you hook onto and you go, oh, that could sound interesting, and do that and experiment, and something just comes out. I know actors that are very mechanical and very technical, which is great. Like, I'm slightly jealous of that. They can go, you know what, he holds himself a little bit forward and his jaw is slightly that way, and so he'll sound a bit like this. And they produce amazing work. For me, it's just an instinct. And I think with him, with Scar, it was, well, I don't want to spoil anything too much, but in a way it was like, is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? Is he like, you know, what does he want? What is his purpose? And definitely as a showman, he definitely wants to sort of possibly win you over, even though it's hard. So in a way, he can't be evil, and, you know, it can't be too severe. It has to sort of entice you and be a little bit more, you know, welcoming and pretending to be nice. But he is, you know, it's that thing, and he never wants you to know who he is. He never wants you to see inside him, so he gives you a show all the time. And I love that because you get to use your whole range, where for 1 second you think, oh, is he a good guy? He's a good guy, right? And then he gives you something maniacal the next bit, and I always keep you on your toes, hopefully, with that. So it's just such a privilege to be able to.
Oh no, did he die?
Shy.
Oh no!
Shy, come back to us.
Wait, Shy, are you here?
Come back.
Say something, Shy. We've lost you, Shy. Return to us, Shy.
That's a great.
That is a great final magician.
Very Scar.
Wait, hold on. James has started to. Is it just me, or is
Wait,
James started to
it's
speak
me
as
and you
well?
now.
What? I'm still here.
Oh, let me.
Wait, James, you just got a bit stuttery visually, but I love that Shy has got Scar as his.
Yeah,
Discord.
that's
I
awesome.
absolutely love that. Yeah, you're back. You're back, James. You're back.
Okay, good.
Welcome back.
You're back as well. You're here.
Yeah, we're all good. We're all good. We're all good.
You're here. You're here.
Shy, you good?
Say something, Shy. Talk to us, Shy. I feel like Shy can't hear a word we're saying.
Oh, he can't hear us.
We can hear you. We can hear you.
You can hear me?
So,
Damn it, because I can't hear you.
Okay, we can
I
hear
was
you.
talking
Let
too
me
much
send
about
him-
myself. Here we
let
go.
me
Why
send him a
can't I hear
text.
myself? This is
Let
great
me-
content for all the podcast
Oh,
community.
don't worry. My chat
Me
left it.
with
It's
my
all good.
connection
It
problems.
happens. Tech
Here-
gremlins.
Here, while you figure that stuff out, we'll go over to Alex. Alex, do you have any artistic process before getting into character for Gian?
Do you know what's really interesting is Shai was just talking about technical actors who are sort of like, he holds himself this way and he does these things with his jaw and he moves and he changes. Now, I'm not that at all, okay? I'm also pure instinct and just whatever feels right in the moment, boom, cool, done, great. And that's what I feel like the character is, which is really interesting because doing the alters, this other game doing the alters, that's been purely kind of like I was just saying, Shai, when you were saying about technical actors doing like slight jaw changes and shift and body shape, I'm not that at all. I'm purely instinct. But the alters has had me going the other way, which is everything has to be purely technical, right? Because you have to do little tiny changes to the way your mouth sits and everything, blah blah blah. Now, Gian, pure instinct and just like in the booth. First time it was like did the audition. It was like Gian of the Midnight Rangers. He's this guy who's here, and I just kind of was like, it just felt kind of right, you know.
Love
just,
that. So
So
cool.
Mulder.
the first thing I did for the audition, which was, you know, like just this guy who's here and very kind of basically a bit kind of me, but with an American accent. So I did that, and they just went, "Yeah, cool, sounds good, like that." So I just went in the booth and just basically did that. But it is interesting because there are elements to him which I find really interesting. His stoicness and his kind of reservedness, and the fact that he is a man who has been hurt so often that he kind of in the past he puts up a barrier and a protection, and he kind of, you know, he's this general with a soft core. I really want to see that soft element to him in the future. Like I want to really we see a bit of it. We do, as he starts to talk about his fallen comrades. I really want to dig into that in the future, and I want to be like, I want to see him lose control of the situation.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, I'd love to see that. I'd love to see a side of him because, yeah, going in, I'm like, I get him and I know him, and I want to take him to a place where I go like, I don't know this dude actually. I don't know what he's like when he loses a bit of control.
Yeah, because for Act 6, he has to be so hard. He has the weight of the world on his shoulders, and then for his story quest to come shortly after, when he talks to Rover and says, "Hey, if I ever die, will you plant a flower in honor of me?" It's like, well, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I like that very tender side. Love that aspect of you.
Yeah.
Very, very well written
I
character.
think I voiced an NPC in your story quest. Ling Yan? I think that's his name. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
I didn't even notice. Wait, that's so cool.
Yeah.
I'll have to go back and check.
Anyways.
So Shai,
That's a sick story quest.
I also wanted to hone in because you have a very iconic laugh in the game. Is it hard to do a truly maniacal laugh, or like, no, you can just off rip it?
No. Yeah, it's the best thing in the world. It's so freeing. It's the best. Because it's so often us as actors, we get told, no, that's too much. Don't do that. Don't do that. No, we don't want that. That's a bit much. And with this, I just got to do whatever the fuck I wanted within the realm of the reality of the story. But it was great. I just had freedom. And sometimes you record something and you go, okay, well, that was an experiment. We're not going to do that. And they're like, no, we love that. Let's keep that.
Yep.
So yeah, for me, it was great.
I had that.
I had you could hear before.
I had the same issue
go
because I did professional musical theater for 2.5 years, and
Oh wow.
so I would. I love theater. I love acting. I love all that stuff. It was really good because I did professional wrestling as well. It was a ton of fun. But I always think that you go. Yeah, it was a blast. I used to do crazy steroids.
Sorry. We can't get this law drop and then just fucking
Yeah.
We
What the
cannot
heck?
get this law drop. Tell us.
Yeah.
Sorry. What was your? I mean, did you shift through a few? What was your main persona?
So I did two. One was BoJack, and the other one was Yorick Glory. I did a lot of work in
Babyface
Austin.
or heel?
Heel. I did a lot of
I can
work.
imagine that.
Both heel, yes. I'm a natural bad guy. I get told this a lot, you know. I really am a bad dude. But yeah, I did one where I was like a religious savant, and the other one was my personality turned up to 11. I did a lot of work in Austin Anarchy Pro Wrestling. It was a blast. And then for
A religious savant heel is a great idea.
Yep, it was great. And then for my theater work, I took the entire album of Fleetwood Mac Rumors, and then I mixed it with this play called Summertime by Charles Elmay. And then I did that with my own theater company called Guacamole Theater back in like 2014. Oh, dude, it was fucking awesome. It was a blast.
Cool.
But
Sounds
yeah,
like a blast. What the
it was.
heck?
And then I was like, I really wanted to be a voice actor. And then I was like, I don't know how to do that shit. I'll just play video games. And then my idea for video games was, because other content creators kind of have this period where they like lull and they don't really have any viewers. But I was just like, you know what I'll do? I'll just play the games that nobody else plays. Because like 5-6 years ago, nobody played Gacha games. Like nobody. There was no Gacha streamers 5-6 years ago. And I was like, okay, I'll just be that guy. And then, sure enough, first stream, 7 viewers. Next stream, 82. Next stream, 300. And it's just, kept going up since then. And now I'm sitting at like 10,000. I don't know how the fuck that happened.
As you played it?
What's up?
Did you grow to like it more Did you grow to like it more as you played it?
Oh, I always loved Gacha games.
Right.
But I just
Right.
didn't
You
know
just
what
saw
to
the niche.
stream. Yeah, I had my buddy called Shane, and he was like, dude, if you were to just stream this, I'd watch every day. And I'm like, all right. I dropped out of college immediately. I just started streaming. I was 2 weeks away from graduating. And I was like, I ain't going to use this degree anyways.
So
Yeah.
hold on, you dropped out. You dropped out
Immediately.
2 weeks before graduating.
Yep. I knew I didn't need the degree.
If
I was
any
doing
kids
it.
are listening out there, don't drop out of college.
Yeah, don't drop out, guys.
Stay in
Not
school,
everyone.
kids.
Yeah.
Stay in school.
This is a PSA. This is a PSA. If you are 2 weeks away from graduating, just stick it out.
Dude, I am,
Yes.
and I cheated
Fair
my
play to
entire
him.
way through college too. I got all my classmates to do my work because I'm just like, there's no way I'm gonna be a developer. I'm just not. I'm fucking with myself. I'm just not gonna do this. But yeah, tons of fun. But I don't want to talk about me. This is about y'all. I do want to know: is there any voice lines or parts of your character that you think? I don't know if you can even talk about this. Is there any lines that you gave that you didn't think that were your best ones? And do you think that you could have done something better if given more time, out of curiosity? If there's anyone that sticks out like, oh, fuck, we went with that.
Oh, yeah. So,
Yeah.
luckily we got to re-record a lot of them, but like, I
Awesome.
think it was CBT2.
Mhm.
I had a really, really bad cold.
Oh, no!
I lost my voice like 2 weeks before the recording, and that's like one of the biggest nightmares for a voice actor. So I was like, fuck, what do I do? What do I do? I was like steaming my voice. I was doing anything I could to get it back, and luckily I got it semi back to like a performative level.
Did
On
you go
the
from
day-
alto to tenor? What happened?
I know exactly. I went to bass, Shy. I went to bass.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Sorry, I have to make these jokes. Sorry.
Don't worry, I got him. Don't worry.
It was.
And-
I would say it was good, but it was serviceable. It was serviceable.
Much I like.
Anyway, back to James's story. Back to James.
And so I was so self-conscious about not being able to put my best foot forward and not being able to like give this to the fans. So I was so relieved when I got called back to do like more recordings for those lines specifically. I think some still snuck in. I'm not too sure because I think a lot of them are through upgrading Alto, you get more of his personality lines and stuff like that. So I'm not entirely too sure which one stuck, but yeah, bit of trivia for you.
That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I don't. Again, it sounds like we don't pay attention, but it's so hard to remember, and you recorded so out of sequence and so out of time, and like, yes, I wouldn't know. I know when I was reading the whole, when he reads the story and you see the animatics of like the lamb and the shepherd and all that, it took me a while to get my head around the story and what was going on, and so I'm sure there were things there that maybe I would have liked to sort of have a better understanding, but there's no time when you record these things. Time is money. You record, you hope for the best, and you just do it.
Yeah.
Never look back.
Yeah. Honestly, this is gonna sound like such a British term, but wanky thing to say. I've been very lucky recently, and since December, I've been very lucky. I have basically been in the booth 8 hours a day, 5 days a week since December.
Damn.
And it's been mad. I don't remember anything. all games just kind of end up going like, whoom.
Yeah.
It's just it reached a point where you start like going into different booths, and you're like, okay, like there are times I'm going, what am I doing today? But like it's a very lucky series. I'm very aware of how lucky and fortunate it is. But genuinely, I don't remember day-to-day things that I've like said in other scenes, because if I did, too much information, it's too many words for one person to kind of remember and hold on to.
Absolutely.
So I kind of don't have an answer, just simply because I've been spoiled, and I'm aware that I'm never going to have a time like this in my career ever again, and I have to enjoy it right now. But basically, yeah, I honestly can't remember day to day, like, yeah, it's my, yeah.
There's a big short-term memory thing going on, because obviously we don't do this to camera. We don't learn the lines. We don't perform them and rehearse them. You know, you sort of read them, understand them in the moment that you read them, but then they just go out, and a new line comes in, and so nothing really stays. It's only after when we watch you guys and reactions and people post things from the game that you go, oh, that's the catchphrase line, but you wouldn't remember it from recording it.
Yeah.
I think as well,
it sort of comes as a blessing, because it's like it lets you enjoy the game. It's like I forgot so much of what I recorded as well, especially for Act 5, and all the stuff in the factory, just because
love that whole story.
long words.
So fun.
Thank you.
Yeah, you and Encore's dynamic is just so enjoyable.
I think
Karina Reeves is amazing, incredible VA.
Absolutely.
So it's like I'm looking forward to just reliving that, just so I could jog my memory and discover it.
I think also something that's really important to know and understand is that the majority of a voice actor's job is sight reading. Like you get given your lines there and then in the moment. So it's not like you go away.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And it's not like they get given to you and you go away and you learn them. Day to day as a voice actor, when you're going into the booth, sometimes you'll get given them in advance. That's a rare situation. But the majority of the time, you turn up in the booth and it's like, okay, in this scene, X, Y, Z, and here are the words, go. And you kind of have to just find it on the spot. And sometimes you're in a position where you get like 5, 6 takes at it. Sometimes you get a situation where you get 1 or 2 takes at it. But you are basically sight reading. So for any people who want to make it out there as voice actors, one thing I would say is work on sight reading. It's huge. It's a huge part of the job. Being able to read something and just go, boom, okay, cool. You give the emotion the first take, you refine it the second take, you perfect it the third take, you go on to the next.
And
so
another
when
side
you're
of
doing that day in, day out, when you're doing that day in, day out, it's very hard as well to like remember specific lines and scenes and moments, because often that is, you only get 3 times reading that moment. So sorry.
And oftentimes no, not at all. I was going to reinforce it with something that maybe isn't reinforcing, but when we were talking about auditions and stuff, you oftentimes you do an audition for these characters and you just get a tiny little snippet from what they want you to know, and you commit to a character. And oftentimes that's the character that the voice that they choose for you to do for the game. But when you chose that voice, you didn't know anything about the game. You're in a way going like, hey, what about this voice for this character that you don't know? The devs go, oh, that's a perfect voice for that character. And that's a marriage of like sort of luck in a way. So sometimes you even choose the voice just by having no information, and then you have to sort of straddle the information onto the choice you already made. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Sometimes you're lucky because they send like a voice inspo and stuff like that. That's really rare. And that's and you audition a completely different time frame.
Sometimes play my audition tapes before if I get the job, I play myself my audition tapes, and sometimes they do in the booth as well, to remember what it was that happened. Obviously, you change things with the devs in the first session, but oftentimes there's just no time, and you go for it and you make it work.
Yeah. So
I auditioned for Scar a year before I actually started the game.
Oh, really?
Oh, that's awesome. I love that.
That's quite a few months. Yeah.
So I saw something recently with a voice actor who was like, for the first time ever, I did an audition for a job, and I got myself as a voice reference, and I auditioned, and I got it. Now, here's the thing. You ready for this? So, there's a company called Frogwares Games. They make all the Sherlock Holmes video games. I have played Sherlock Holmes in the last 3 of their video games. Another studio, I auditioned for their, like, it was like a spin-off of like a Sherlock Holmes video game, but not a Sherlock Holmes video game. And it was kind of, you know, it was like a new modern take on it, but it was a new character. And the reference was myself. I auditioned for it, didn't get it.
What?
What?
That's insane.
I literally, the reference that was me, I delivered exactly what they wanted, and they went, nah, not that.
That's crazy. Well, I know you guys said you had about 1 hour, and we have gotten to that point.
I've got a little bit longer.
Okay.
Yeah, we could go a little
I'm
bit
happy
longer.
to stick
yeah.
around.
Well, then how about-
I'm
A
not.
little bit longer, if you've got a little bit longer.
How about we just do like one or two more questions, and then we just call it a day?
Sure,
Cool,
sure.
cool.
sure.
Sweet.
This is
We'll keep
fun.
them very simple, okay? Out of all the characters in Wuthering Waves, I would love to know, besides yourself, who is your favorite character? I would love to start with you, James.
Oh gosh. Well, favorite looks wise or
Anything,
story-wise?
any parameter you want.
Well, how could I not say Daddy Gian?
Yeah.
Look at him!
I know,
Yeah. My goodness!
Yeah.
My gosh! But that Smolder, you can't be that Smolder, and I think he's such a multi. I use that term again for Alto, but he is such a multifaceted character. There's so much more to him. Like watching his PV, that trailer was
Insane. Oh my god. And then when you meet Geshu too.
I
Genshu
was so
Lin?
happy with that trailer.
Oh my god.
Yes. Dude, I can't wait.
So
Do you
sick.
know who voices Geshu? Any of y'all? Do y'all know?
I
No, I
don't.
don't
I
think
actually reached out to another voice actor because I knew that he voice acted on it, and I was like, "Is this you?" And he was like, "It's not me." And then I was like, "It turns out." So he plays. Oh my god, why is the name escaping me right now? Beginning with M.
Mortify?
Mortified.
Oh,
So
yeah, yeah.
Mortified. Joseph, mate, like wonderful, like, amazing actor.
Joe
yeah,
is fucking
yeah,
great.
Joe's great. He's a brilliant
Yeah.
actor. So I messaged him, and he was like, "No, I actually play Mortified." But my god, that Geshu Lin's voice.
Insane.
Oh
It was,
my
that PV
God.
was nuts. It was nuts.
Whoever that
Yeah.
is, he's gonna gain a lot of fans when it gets revealed who
Oh
it is.
yeah, I'm pulling for him 100%. It just
Yeah,
sounds he
yeah.
sounds so good.
What was the name again? I'm trying to see if I can
The
find
ki- the
it here on
character?
IMDb. Yeah.
Geshu Lin.
Yeah, so GESHU. Wuthering Waves.
Other
Real
than
sexy
Gian, I
E-boy,
love
got beads on his
Encore.
neck, nightmare arm, huge sword. Yeah, Encore's also so adorable.
Oh.
Encore's so cute, and like I love that dynamic between Alto and Encore. It's just like, it's wonderful, and I think it's so refreshing as well in the whole landscape of the game, because you need characters like that to lift it up.
Yeah. Also,
And,
if you, I know you say you're planning on streaming Wuthering Waves. In case you
Yeah.
plan on doing the Alto Encore team, there's some really cool. I don't know if you care about min-maxing. There's some very cool techniques you can do in the game to prevent Encore.
you going full? You're going full like there's min-maxing?
Yes.
You're gonna go full
So-
Please
min-maxing?
do. I'm all for
So
it.
Encore's biggest weakness is that her charge attack takes way too long to do. So what you can do is you can queue the charge attack, and once it's queued, it's locked in. So you can swap to another character while it's happening. She'll stay on the field. She'll become invulnerable. Then once she detonates, you swap back. That way you get the full damage, and there's no downside.
Your strats, man. Gamer strats.
It's
Can I
insane.
ask you? Can you please just go? Actually,
Actually, that is not how you play Encore. Yeah, dude, the tech in Wuthering Waves is so cool right now because there's swap in, swap out, swap cancels, which has been really cool for combat. But then also, they thought that you could only do a double jump, but there's a way to actually do a triple jump if you input certain button
I
presses at the
love
same
this
time.
stuff, man.
It's
I
so
absolutely
cool.
love this stuff. When someone first cracks something within the meta, and they're like, "Guys," they just put it out there on the internet, and everyone just suddenly the whole new avenue is blown wide open,
Yep.
and everyone suddenly goes, "What?" Like, I love these moments. They're great. They're
Yeah.
great.
What about you, Alex?
Have
Who's
you
your
ever
favorite
played
character
PGR?
besides
Sorry.
yourself?
It's gotta be it's got to be Calcharo. It's got to be.
Yeah,
Like, look at the
that's my
on,
boy, man. I'm a
look at him.
Calcharo man.
like Sephiroth, but kind of not, but also just super cool voice. Like, this is the thing, I guess, right? Like, you're asking who would I want to voice, and I guess it would be a totally different voice, which would make them different. But I kind of would want it to be Calcharo, but also not, because I don't want to change anything about Calcharo.
Absolutely.
Calcharo is
Perfect.
so cool, man. Such a cool design.
If you were to, do you know any of Calcharo's voice lines?
Oh God, there was one which kept repeating. What's his one which keeps repeating?
Oh, the one my video had that. What is that called? I know exactly what you're talking about. I can pull up the exact line.
There's one of his that keeps repeating. Because like, God, it's time. Is it? It's time.
Let me
It's
check,
time.
because somebody
It's time.
somebody timestamped every
Just
single
constantly.
time that Calcharo
It's
spoke
time.
in my video. Is it? It's time. Oh yeah, it's time. Yeah, that sounds so good.
Yeah, exactly.
I love
yeah,
it.
just over and over, and I would just stand in the booth.
Yeah.
I'd have it on repeat, just going, "It's time. It's time. It's time."
So good.
Someone's alarm tone.
So good. What about you, Shy? Who's your favorite character in the story so far?
I think, I mean, I would go with a bit of Gian. See, but I'd go for either one of these two. I'd love to be like whimsical and like happy-go-lucky like Alto, and I'd love to be cool and sexy and brooding like Gian, honest. And so, and that's the fun about Scar. He gets to be all these different things, and so none of them are like, I can't even make sense of what I'm saying. Basically, I'd love to be one of the two. But I also love being Scar because I can
Dude,
do
come on, let's be
everything
real.
at once.
Scar is an
I'm not
actor's
swapping
dream,
this for
man.
anything.
Scar
Absolutely.
is an actor's dream.
Oh, by the way,
Like the Joker.
Say yes to that.
true.
Yeah, it's literally like the Joker. Everyone goes,
Yeah.
I want to play the Joker at some point. Then you get someone like Scar who comes along and you go, that's that
Yeah.
perfect
Joker.
moment for an
There you
actor.
go.
It's a,
Yeah, no, I am very lucky. I can't deny it.
By the
I
way,
have to take it.
Shy, I know that, you know, whether Scar is going to become a playable character or not, who's to say? But I do hope that if they do ever come out, that they're a balanced, well-performing character. Have you ever heard of any the issues that have happened to voice actors when a character they voiced comes out and they're not a good character? You ever heard of any of this? No.
No.
Oh,
What
there
is
was
this?
there was another game where there was a character called Kokomi, and people were greatly looking forward to this character. And when they came out and they were an underwhelming unit, they held the voice actor responsible for the character being bad, and they were like, "How could you do this to us? What were you thinking?"
I have to say,
Yeah.
we have to take the good with the bad, and like, you know, in the same way that we're not fully responsible for the characters being good,
Yeah.
we're not ever really responsible for them being bad if and when they are bad.
Yeah.
We really are very much bound by whatever we're told to do, or
Absolutely.
direction, or, you know,
We're like the lowest on
constraints
the
of
food
game.
chain.
Yeah, no one ever.
You don't have any
Also,
say.
no one ever sets out to do a bad job. Everyone always wants to do a bad job. You can have amazing actors deliver bad performances, and sometimes bad actors delivering good performances.
Yep.
But I don't know. I mean, maybe I should quit while I'm ahead and tell the devs not to even consider this. 'Cause,
Just
let me
avoid the backlash.
roll on this high.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Scar has
Avoid it
got
straight away.
legs. And I don't mean that in a pervy
He's got
way, because that
great
sounded
legs.
a bit too
Yeah.
kind of like, do you
Who
know what I
has
mean?
legs?
Scar's
Well,
got
you
legs.
said it.
Yeah.
You said it already.
Scar has got
Those are
legs. This
thighs.
character is great, and you deliver it so damn well. And also, like,
Many
do you know what's
thanks.
really cool? Is like, it's one thing to witness someone do a really good performance and go, that's really, really damn cool. It's another thing when it's like a friend of yours who you've known for a long time, and when you witness a friend do cool stuff, and you're like, yes,
Oh, thank you. That's really sweet.
give that dude his flowers. This is a moment I'm like,
Fully deserving.
yes,
Absolutely.
give this man
Give
his
me my
flowers.
burning cards. I want my burning cards.
Give him
So
his
cool.
No,
flowers.
I'm very lucky, and but again, I didn't even realize this. So I didn't know it was going to be received like this. I genuinely didn't think.
Of course.
you know, this has blown my mind.
Yeah.
It's really been amazing.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Thank
the
you for
community
subscribing.
loves it. It's so good.
Mm.
That's really good. That's really good.
But yeah, in case Twitter ever comes after you, I got your back. Last question, just one tip that you all would give before we wrap this up. If you were to give one tip to anybody who is aspiring to be a voice actor, what would you recommend that they do? And I'd love to start with Alex.
So I've already said the sight reading one, which is
Yep.
just kind of make sure that you're on it with your sight reading and find ways of getting better at sight reading. And what I would say is, if you are dyslexic, so I personally am not, but I've got like a couple of my closest friends are, and we've been through this like a lot of times. There are specific techniques and ways. So, for example, yellow on a background of a font, like a yellow helps to basically read it. Also, there's something called dynamic text, which is like it changes the capitalization on letters throughout text, and it really helps your brain kind of just skim read. So there's that, which is really, really nail down the sight reading side of it. The other thing I would say, and it's the most important thing, is know your worth. Understand your worth, know your value, because there are a lot of websites out there who will seek to, there are big companies who will seek to pay you massively under what you are worth to them as a company. Advertising. If you're doing an advert and there's a company like Coca-Cola and they're doing an advert on like Fiverr and they're trying to get you to, if you will help them sell more like shipment units of their product, you are worth that to them. Understand your worth, know that what you are doing brings a certain value. Don't undersell yourself.
I
Yeah.
1
Their
million percent
drink
agree.
brands are available.
Other brands are available.
I actually helped start a ad agency for content creators to value the creators first over companies because I had so many friends in the field who were underselling themselves drastically. I'm not even kidding you.
Absolutely.
For a 12-month deal that I was receiving $13,000 a month for, my friend who had similar viewership to me was receiving $200 a month because they had no idea their own value as a content creator. So I spend the majority of my time talking to CCs behind the scenes and helping them understand their value per viewer.
It's so important.
It is.
Seriously,
You'll get fucked.
It's so important.
I think creating
because-
a community that supports each other. I know it sounds a bit like trite and stuff, but like we all are, us three, we know each other, and we are like, I guess, competitors in a way, but we're not. Like, we're friends, and we will always. We're so much stronger as a community. Or like all of our friends who do this are around here. We're based in London, but like Joe May that you've just mentioned. We're all a community of actors that are quite strong together, and I think that's really important. To just be part of be with people rather than sort of against people.
Absolutely.
You'll gain
Absolutely.
so much more from that.
Yeah, voice acting can be a very lonely world if you don't have that, because you
Very
don't act
lonely,
with anyone.
yeah.
Extremely
Yeah.
lonely. You're by yourself in the booth.
Yes.
Or at home under a blanket or in a cupboard. You know, it's like it's unless you reach out to other people, they wouldn't know you exist. You know, it's tough.
1 million
And I was
percent.
like that for years.
This was another issue that a previous game that I covered was like, where it's a bunch of gacha anime content creators. They're very shut in. They don't like communicating. And so I started this podcast for about a year now, and bringing as many creators together was very important because the things are better when we just work together and not just work by ourselves. I 1 million percent agree. There's a lot of parallels I see. That's very interesting.
It's what's that phrase which is like the tide like rises all. It's something to do with the rising tide like raises
Others'
all.
waves.
Oh yeah.
It's like I want to find
Something with black
this.
lambs and a shepherd, because I know all that. I'll give you that. I think if I were to googling the thing,
I was just saying real quick. It's a rising tide raises all ships. If we all raise the tide together, all the ships rise together. That's basically it. Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's an important one.
Absolutely.
And then you eat the tide capsules. I would say take it seriously. Like, if you're gonna be in this, it's a real job. I know it seems stupid and ridiculous, but it is. Like, all the stuff that we do here is a bonus. It's like that's our bonus of reaching out to the players, through people like you and these guys streaming and stuff. That's a bonus, but like, it's a real job, and it's got real like challenges and stuff. And so I'd say sometimes you encounter people that just think because you have a voice you can be a voice actor, but take it seriously. Really learn different types of games, different types of material, and take it seriously, because it is a real job with a lot of competition.
Absolutely.
Yeah, huge competition. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I'd say. Sorry.
No, you're all good. Go for it.
I was gonna say similar to what Shai was saying. There comes a point where your dream becomes a business, you know, and it's very comes. You can still treat it as a dream, but there's a lot of different aspects towards voice acting which people don't think about, like the whole thing about marketing and branding and stuff like that for yourself. And I think, Alex, you pretty much nailed a lot of what I was going to say and all the different tips you could offer a voice actor. When it comes to landing auditions, I would suggest going for takes that a casting director wouldn't expect, you know. And you could submit multiple takes, but not do anything from left field, you know what I mean? Do something that fits the character that might not be something that everyone else would do, because if you're a casting director listening to so many different tapes, and you've listened to something that really pulls you out of that monotonous part of a job, it can be beneficial. So play around, have fun, and remember that there's a reason you want to do it.
True.
Because it's fun.
I love that. All right, I know that I said that was the last thing. Real quick, my chat was wondering, Alex, do you have like something about like smoking that you want to talk about, or no? Am I crazy?
Smoking?
Yeah, some guys like ask Alex about smoking. Ask Alex about smoking. Do you have anything or no?
I mean, is that
Like,
just
get a gruffly voice.
is that just due to my voice?
I have no
Or,
idea.
like-
No, there's no context.
because I
This is
don't
my
smoke.
hangover
And
voice.
I don't smoke, and I've never smoked. So
Okay, great. Hey, I don't
I
smoke
don't know
either.
if that's what it is.
Okay.
I don't know if
Maybe
that's
it's
what it
that
is.
silly tash that you have. Maybe that's
Maybe
the...
it's the silly tash. Do you want to know what
That's
this is? You want to know what this is? Okay. So this mustache. So the character that I play in the Alters has a mustache, and I was recording on that. Now I went away to film on, I can't talk about it yet, an untitled Disney Plus project.
Awesome.
And I went away to film on it, and they shaved me down to a mustache.
It looks great.
And thank you. I came back into the booth, and I went back into the booth to record on the Alters. And the director, as I came back in the booth, went, "You've shaved to have the mustache for the character." And I was in the booth, and I went, "Yes, you're right. I have shaved the mustache for the character in this game. Yes, that's absolutely what
That's
has
right.
happened." And ever since then, I have kept the mustache because it's on
Dedication.
brand.
That's awesome. I love that. Final thing, and you can totally decline. Shy, my chat's just wondering, can you do Scar's laugh, or is that?
Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it.
My neighbors might really get upset. I don't even actually know that I'm remembering the laugh properly. Let's try.
Do it.
It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. I love it. That's so awesome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
Thank you, sure.
Yeah, James, Alex,
Dance,
Shy.
Smokey, dance.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Sorry.
much. Thank you.
Yeah. Do you have any socials you want to shout out whatsoever? Where can people follow you? Can we start with you, Alex? Where can people find you?
Yeah, so I am Alex Jordan VO across everything. So that's Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch. And I'm going to be streaming Wuthering Waves for the first time tomorrow. So if you want to come by and say hello.
What
But
time?
also so I'm going to be doing it about 8 p.m. UK time.
Okay.
So that's the time we started this today.
Okay, so 2 p.m.
So, yeah.
CST.
2 p.m. CST. But what
Awesome.
I also would like to say is we are talking with Streamly to do a signing. So if you want to get some like signed Gian, Scar, Alto stuff, that will be in the future. So if you look us up on socials and keep an eye out, there will be a Streamly thing in the near future. So yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
James, yourself, where can people find you?
I Hey James Day on everything. So just like my Twitter, on Twitter I'm Hey James Day. On Twitch I'm Hey James Day, and I'll be streaming Wuthering Waves on Tuesday. And
do you know what
still
time?
deciding on times. Probably the same as 8 p.m. So 3 p.m. CST, and I think that is 12 noon PT.
Okay, awesome.
I think. Yeah. So, I'll put it on my Twitter. So follow me on there and updates. And I have a Discord channel, I think, on that one tweet I had the Alto reaction on and stuff like that. And I'm also on Instagram and stuff, but I'm most active on Twitter and soon to be Twitch. I'm excited.
Awesome.
I'm
Very
excited.
Shy, where can people
I
find
am
you?
such a disappointment. I'm Shy Matheson on everything, which is really just Twitter and Instagram. But my Instagram is so boring. There's nothing there. So Twitter is the only place that I engage with this stuff that we love doing. So I'd say Twitter. And I promise to be better on it and more active, especially now that the response has been so great. I'm gonna pay more
Absolutely.
attention to it.
Awesome.
Mostly retweet stuff from Alex and James.
Damn
it! I'm trying my best. I'm learning.
I really appreciate y'all's time. I hope y'all had a great time here. If y'all ever need me for anything, hit me up. And this was a pleasure. I appreciate the hell out of y'all.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you so
man.
much
Thanks
for
very
having
much
us.
Thank you, lambs.
And
thank you,
enjoy Wuthering them waves, guys.
Always
Enjoy
do.
Please do.
Wuthering them
That's it.
waves.
Yeah.
All right.
Weather those waves.
Peace, y'all.
What are those waves?
Weather.
Bye.
Very, very, very good.